So gents and take. You didn't need to be very accurate with your aim, only fire and you were going to hit something. Our advance post is 25 Northumberland Road. Well, when the British come abreast of 25, Lieutenant Malone and Seamus Grace engaged them. So the British concentrated a very heavy fire on it. And of course, under machine gun fire and that, no man with a revolver can stand up to it, and they had to withdraw to the back of the house. But the British burst in, and Malone was shot dead at the head of the stairs.
I, General Sir John Grenfell Maxwell, KCB, KCMG, CVO, DSO, Commanding-in-Chief His Majesty's Forces in Ireland, hereby order that all members of the Irish Volunteer Sinn Féin organisation or of the Citizen Army shall forthwith surrender all arms, ammunition and explosives in their possession to the nearest military authority. Most rigorous measures will be taken by me to stop the loss of life and damage to property which certain misguided persons are causing by their armed resistance to the law.
After a long battle, the British eventually, by sheer weight and numbers, they overcome the men at the Rialto end of the Union. Few volunteers escaped and let into town. The whole party that was in the corrugated huts on the Rialto side, the one that was killed there, and those that were not killed or wounded were taken prisoner.
Bíon chair in a cosir chró, bíon gasted a hena, cúl an óglach le falla, agus lón cogaí an sídithe.
The British bored through the south end wall of the nurses' home, found themselves in a porch between the front door and the porch door barricade, and just slung hand grenades over the barricade to the fanlight. And there was heavy fire from our half a dozen men on the landing, an officer and 5 men on the landing. Carl Brewer came in to investigate, and he was unfortunate enough to receive the contents of a hand grenade thrown over the barricade by the British. And they carried Carl Brewer into the kitchen, into the northwest corner of the room, in the most dangerous corner from the point of view of fire over the barricade, because you could see the barricade from there. Brewer had deliberately selected that position to have himself placed. He said, "I'm done, boys. Retreat into the next building." Now, those others went through the hole in the wall, climbed this ladder and went down and found themselves inside this big dormitory in the company of the rest of the garrison. How long we were there, I couldn't make an estimate of time at all. But eventually, Kent remarked to Cosgrave, "They cannot have got into the nurse's home. They're still firing on it." Then Kent stood up and turned round to the garrison. He said, "I want 2 men to volunteer to back me to the nurse's home." But when Kent came back, there was a knowing look, the next thing to a wink from Colonel Brewer. Kent went over then and bent down over Colonel Brewer in a kind of a broken voice, he said, "Cahill."
In order to prevent the further slaughter of Dublin citizens, and in the hope of saving the lives of our followers now surrounded and hopelessly outnumbered, the members of the provisional government present at headquarters have agreed to an unconditional surrender, and the commandants of the various districts in the city and country will order their commands to lay down arms.
I agree to these conditions for the men only under my own command in the Moore Street district, and for the men of the Stephen's Green command. Bhí an cá arma cáilte. A chuir bhuiir an dhéilte héin, bhí síal nó raibhlóide nó ag ascar faoi chuim. Seo héad na fir a leanach chun treid agus a racha chun táisí na saoirse.
as a líon a go ceanirí a teóró cogan na síirse, mar hampla an prísónach, Éman de Valera. Cor agus íróin na staire, an prísónach a díruch an páis in a wachtara. Y measc na milia hénín sé, ceannach ar an dirin a pinos an wash. An teachan a gonín sé, ba anna choníoch riche hasanna cuairt. Hog an taharú a cuarsa fad, ach ní bháin réir coirí sort. Níor bhain síirse a bhíomh, agus mallart breit os cínan chuisleáin. Dere an neistir de verlí ó amsúd an éireann nach aontaí heile. Rinne é oscailte nehhuir chun ghlacha le fuil an éirí amach. An tinine a fadíú in imach seachtainna bhí sí múchta ríist, agus an drama bhúch ina máistirí ar an maon bag a dadaí. Críanna do réir a sailse héin, chuidir chun a dhéimhnú go má ada ríist go dárlach a lehéid agus go dúrfií an tír chun mínadis. Bhí na ceanirí ina seileamh agus ar an neolalas. An níonadís ló faoi mar borrá ló ina mris.
In view of the gravity of the rebellion, the General Officer Commanding-in-Chief has found it imperative to inflict the most severe sentences on the known organizers of this most detestable rising. The following have been tried by Field General Courts-Martial and sentenced to death. Patrick H. Pierce, Thomas McDonough, Thomas J. Clark, Joseph Plunkett, Edward Daly, Michael O'Hanrahan, William Pierce, John McBride, Cornelius Colbert, Michael Mallin, Edmund Kent, John J. Houston, John McDermott, and James Connolly.
Níorbuchú grísach na tinine. As a cartlar a deire an Phoenix, an éire nú na marimid. Da horra, glún ar a gú sir is stad sir. Glún at an anas blachas ar a chur a núl tín an eisling a hiskint, agus a chur a grích ina omlaine. Dan a sirir a dionit ar lichra, is ní lein glún neafs blach an glún a chorinte.
Guardas Paciente! Pleading! Guardas Paciente! Hurry!
Deiridor fwy chosg, buin bug far fwy erim. As a mas sha honig shed chum bua, as a mua sha cyfnid ar as a nashling agus as a gosbwr. Marshin sha honig shed fein ben a mew, on the loon sha gwael, et tourstian numosh.
They shall be spoken